been preparing since a year, 1.5 year, and now the final day is very close. I'm sure there would be a lot of goosebump and so much of anxiety. And it's obvious that, with so much of anxiety and so much of talking around, uh, there will be some blunders, some mistake that student, at your age, who is probably 16, 17, 18, 17, 18 years old, would panic under the pressure and make some silly mistakes, silly errors. So that's why I am here to probably make you aware that these are common mistakes that students over the years have been, making, so that you avoid them in the on the actual day. And let's hope that you don't make any of this error that we are going to discuss today. I am sure some of the mistakes Siddhant sir has also discussed, and you guys are following those uh, suggestions or things that Siddhant sir have mentioned in last 2 weeks. Correct. So let's move on to the first blunder that you should avoid: changing strategy at the last moment. uh, don't listen to anyone. Don't suddenly one fine day wake up, chalo, today 7th, I am going to do something different from everyone else, and let me change my strategy. Don't do that. uh, I have come across, not many students, but I have come across, I at least remember three or students who suddenly changed their strategy. They used to attempt GK. GK was their third section that used to attempt, and on that day, God knows what happened. They started with GK. The another student I remember, that girl started with a quant section, QT section. God knows what happened on that day during the exam, panic or what it was, but that's how it happens. The exam day, the real exam, is very different from the mock test that you write. Okay. बोलते हैं ना कि the real match, the match pressure is very different from the net practice. Same goes. You would have written 50, 60, 70 marks, but the exam that day will be very crucial. Okay, so don't change your strategy, stick to your strategy. And I would say that if you have written 50, 60 marks, the 7th December, take it as a 51st mock or a 61st mock. Okay. If you have done everything right, I'm sure that day, 7th December, will be your day. Having said this, a lot of time what students also do is they have written so many mocks, though they try to regulate their attempts. I would say that don't do that. What if this year CLAT is difficult? Maybe at around 90, 94 marks, you may get into an LSIU Bangalore. The CLAT is that difficult. What would you do? For everyone, the attempt will be lesser. Correct? And what if the CLAT is very easy? Maybe at 105, you may not get NLSI Bangalore this year. So you need to attempt paper to its merit. I am sure, if you have written IMS last 10, 12 marks, you would have come across a paper where the good score, the topper score was only 96 marks. And there were marks where the topper score was 112, 113 marks also. So you have practiced very difficult mock. You have also practiced easier mock. So you need to ensure that you are not, regulating the attempt. You're not fixing your attempt that I have to attempt 110, I have to attempt 115, 15, 100 questions. Don't do that. Because see, aisa to nahi hoga that if the paper is easy and if you're able to attempt all 120, since you have decided that you'll attempt only 110, even if the 10 minutes are left, you will stop there. It won't happen. Correct? The similar way, you will have to gauge the level of difficulty. Okay, if this is the mock which is similar to the sim test that I have written, then I know that my attempt will be in this range. Correct? So you will have to gauge that. And if you feel that this paper is very difficult, extremely difficult, which means that not only you, for everyone, the attempts are going to be on the lesser side. Yeah. So just ensure that you don't panic under that 2 hours of pressure and give your best. Just now, the first blunder which I mentioned, don't change your strategy. The second was don't regulate the attempt. The third one, I'll slightly contradict my first blunder. When I say that, don't change your strategy when you start the exam. But if the paper is extremely difficult, or if one section is extremely difficult, you will have to tweak strategy at that moment. If you would have listened to Siddhant sir's video, he has given the sectional time limit, ideal time for each section. What if the English section is very difficult on that day? You will realize after reading one or two passages that all the passages are equally difficult, and it makes sense probably to skip that section, go to another section, and come back to English section later if you have time, the time permits. So you'll have to do that. I hope you don't have to change the strategy on the 7th of December. I hope that the all the section goes very smooth. But then at the back of the mind, you should be mentally prepared that if one section is very difficult, or for that matter, for most of you, you don't like QT. What if on that day the QT, both the sets are extremely easy and they are really scoring? In that case, you will have to attempt QT set first. Probably, what if both the QT set you can solve in 12 or 13 minutes? I mean, that's a possibility, right? Like last year, we had set on logical reasoning, a circular arrangement question in logical reasoning, correct? You never know if this time there are few surprise element, few new question type which are extremely easy that appears, or some question type which are very difficult that appear. So you'll have to tweak while attempting the paper. Now, don't write too many mocks. See, today we are on third, almost it's over, correct? So we have fourth and fifth, 2 days left. Sixth, we recommend not to do anything. So if you will write 2-3 mocks in next 3 days, I think it's the biggest blunder that you'll make. You'll have to save that energy for the last day. You don't have to overdo before the CLAT. Your actual performance should be on the day of CLAT, correct? Maybe writing one mock is more than sufficient according to me. And what you can do, if you feel that you are not doing anything, probably uh, resolve the last 2-3 years actual CLAT paper as a sectional test, or just as a purpose for solving. That's it. If you don't do it, absolutely fine. But if you haven't solved the actual CLAT paper of last 2-3 years, I recommend that you do it as just as a solving. Don't take under time pressure and everything. I don't want you to get exhausted before you write the actual test, right? So don't do that. Don't give unnecessary pressure to your brain. Don't do that. You chill. See, I always keep on saying that अगर 1-1.5 साल मेहनत की and if you have not able to score 110 marks, 100 marks, 95 marks, so last 2 days you're not going to do wonders, correct? So just don't do too much, too many things, so that you get tired on the day of exam. Keep relaxed. That's the key. Another thing, a lot of students, they panic, and they sleep very late, they wake up very early, they change their daily routine because 7th ko, you have to write the CLAT, so you have to eat on this particular time, and you have to do this, you have to do that, and all those blah blah thing. I would say that don't change your routine. Keep on doing what it is. Just simply don't change it, because if you change something, your entire body will have to get accustomed to it. And on the day of exam, I don't want you to have face so many changes. So if you are playing cricket, probably every day of cricket, go and play. Okay, if you are playing chess, do play chess. If you watch some Netflix or Amazon Prime, do watch half an hour, 45 minutes. Don't simply change it. Do what you have been doing. Follow your routine. That's the key. And don't ignore your sleep. 6 to 8 hours of sleep is necessary. Seven would be ideal, but 6 to 8 hours is necessary to keep yourself relaxed. Yeah. And last but not the least, don't over analyze the situation and be very critical about your performance. uh, when I say this, a lot of time what students say, sir, I'm not been scoring 80, how will I score 95, how will I score 100? You never know that. You never know, that might be your day. Okay, you may score very high marks on that day. Probably you will peak on 7th of December. So don't overanalyze or become too critical about yourself. Have that confidence in you that 7th December is your day and you will make it. Okay, NLSIU Bangalore, you will definitely get into NLSIU. You need to have that kind of confidence in you. Okay, So I am sure these tips will be helpful to you, and you will definitely come out with flying colors. Now let me take few questions. I have questions here. Okay, sir, I'm afraid of CLAT. So that's what I discussed, beta. I mean, there is no point in being afraid of CLAT. See, CLAT is not the end of life. I would say that, you have so many exams, and what if you don't even get into one of the top law school? Absolutely fine. That's not end of life. You have your dreams are bigger than cracking a CLAT and getting into NLUs. Okay, just remember this. Your dreams are much bigger than this. So don't allow anyone entrance exams to overcome your dream and shatter your dream. So don't do that. How should students manage time during CLAT exam to avoid panic in the last 30 minutes? So Curly Brown, yeah. Uh, as I said, you have been writing so many mocks, correct? If you have been writing so many mocks, ensure that whatever technique that you have been following, stick to that. Don't keep on turning paper from here to there. I have missed this question, let me go and solve it, let me go and solve that, let me just follow the sectional time limit that you have been following and that you have maintained over last so many mocks, so that everything will fall in place. So don't worry about it. Can you share list of important GK topics? Okay. So Sneha, important GK topics. See, everything is important, right? That is, I mean, I don't have Aladdin ka Chirag where I can tell you this are the important topic. But yes, probably what we feel, the IMS feel that this topics are something that students should definitely revise before the CLAT. We did the session on YouTube, so the video for that is already available on the IMS Get Set Law channel. You'll also find the PDF of that in the student login in case you are a IMS student. So we have collated all the important topics and it's there in the IMS student portal. If you're not the IMS student, the video on the most important topic is already available. We recorded last week. I think we should not mark in the question paper, but it's little bit difficult to manage without marking. But that's how you know how the CLAT is. And I am sure while attempting the mock paper, you have practiced that. If not, probably when you write the next mock, maybe tomorrow or day after, just practice that. I think that's how it is. Also, one video that Siddhant sir has made, how to fill the OMR, he has mentioned a technique how to mark on the paper, marking D, writing D, or having a dot mark just to ensure that you're not, they have said that you don't tick or anything but point and something, some kind of here and there you can do it. So just watch that video. I'm sure that video will be helpful. uh the next question: how many mocks should I take between now and exam day? Curly Brown, only one mock. Not more than one. Don't overdo it. See, in if you have not done anything great wonders in last 6 months, last 2 days, you're not going to do anything. Correct? So don't overdo it. You never know, if you go relax, chill, probably you can outscore all your past performances. So just let it be. Okay. Can I skip quant? I think I just mentioned that, uh, attempt paper towards merit. What if the paper is very easy, Ayush? If the paper is easy, probably both the quant sets, probably you would be able to attempt in 12-13 minutes. So I remember first CLAT in the new pattern, both the sets given were very easy. Students were able to attempt in 11-12 minutes. Okay. So what if similar set appear in this year? If you skip that quant section, you will be at disadvantage because most of the students will get full marks there. If I attempt 110 question, will I get NLSIU? So unique mind, it will depend upon your accuracy. A, B. I mean, if I look at the past trend, see, I said some time back that don't regulator attempt. Okay, so ideally you should not. But since you have asked this question, if I look at the past trend, uh, with a 90 to 95%, 95% accuracy, 92 to 95% accuracy out of 110 marks, you should be able to get into NLSIU Bangalore. How much marks in mocks are okay? at those end days of the practice. So depending upon your category, whether you belong to general, OBC, SC, which category you belong to, it depends on that. But let's say you belong to a general category, unreserved category, as it is called in CLAT. If you belong to an unreserved category, in that case, let's say the last year cutoff was X marks for NLSIU Bangalore. So are you scoring that X mark? Are you scoring 103, 104 marks? Okay. So always ensure that you're scoring that many marks. Don't be under impression that, if I score 110 marks, probably in the exam I'll be able to score at least 104 marks. No, that doesn't work. And rather than chasing the marks, you should chase, are you in the top 50, top 100 student in the mock test that you have been writing? Because uh, I mentioned sometime back that in one mock the topper could be 112, 114 marks. In some other mock the topper could be only 102, 103 marks. So the paper is difficult. Probably with a lesser score also you can get into an LSIU Bangalore, and if the paper is easy with a higher score you may not be able to get into an LSIU Bangalore. So it depends on paper to paper. So don't restrict that, I have to score this much to get into an LSIU Bangalore. If the answer wrong, do they cut marks? How much marks for per question? So there is, it's a 1 mark positive and 0.25 negative marking. That's a marking scheme, right? Uh, yeah, so that's it. What is your prediction about the level of difficulty of the paper? Otri Banerjee. I wish I had that Aladdin ka Chirag to watch the level of difficulty of the paper, but uh, so if I have to go with the trend, in last 2 3 years, not much has changed, except last year they introduced logical reasoning set. I believe more or less it would be on the similar line. So similar level of difficulty should be there, plus or minus 2 3 marks in the actual cutoff. Would be, uh, would be the papers, the difficulty of the paper, not too much of variation. But again, CLAT can come up with surprises, so be ready with it. That's what I want to say. The paper might be very easy or it may become very difficult. Okay, I would say 90 95% it would be on the similar line, but there will always be that gray area of 5 10% that CLAT would want to throw some surprises. Will it be easy to moderate? Easy though, I would say nahi. I don't think CLAT would come up with an easy paper. Moderate, yes, if not difficult. Moderate, definitely. Yeah. See, because when there is an easy paper, it becomes very difficult to distinguish between a good student and a little less good student and an average student, right? So there will always be some element where the student will be tested. So possibility there, maybe around 15 to 20, 25 questions would be challenging. The other questions turn out to be, that's very much possible. Those challenging questions will act as a differentiator between the topper and the someone who is outside the two-digit rank. I believe I was able to pass on my message with the experience that I have, and I'm sure you will take some learning from this session. Don't forget to attend tomorrow's session, which is going to be the important session for you if you are going to write the CLAT seriously. Siddhant sir is going to discuss about do's and don'ts and the last bit strategies. Okay, so do attempt the live session on IMS Get Set channel tomorrow. Bye bye, everyone, and all the best for your examination. See you.